was in 9th grade, someone told me to give up on ball. He told me, "Basketball will only take you so far in life. You're not going to make it to the NBA," he said. What he was missing is that making it to the NBA isn't the only reason why we play. The game of basketball leaves you with so much more than just the game itself. The life lessons and friendships that are made while playing the game will outlive the game and can last a lifetime.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Hebrew Academy of Five Towns Rockaway for championship hockey. It's been a while since we've been able to bring you a junior high championship, but we're going to bring you a very familiar one as the Halb Lions and the Hanc Hurricanes. Me showing my long-standing relationship with Hank there. The Hanc Hurricanes meeting up for the 5th time in league history, the most run matchup in the junior high history. I'm Yjhshl, along with Avidan Berman. We're going to call tonight's game for you. This CMC production, thank you to Hafter High School Media, Yeshiva League Pass, our sponsor. Hafter, Avidan, it seems like every year we're back here, you and me, and we're back with some similar matchup to this.
Absolutely. It's this brings me back personally from having to play Halb myself in a championship game. So,
what team did you play for?
Hanc.
There you go. You were part of one of these matchups, another in a semifinal. But one of these matchups, you can speak better than anybody at this broadcast booth as to what these matchups are like against a team like Halb and Hanc.
Well, you know what? Familiarity breeds rivalry. And on both sides, this is a game that, because it's so familiar, it brings a certain amount out of it. And even with the coaches, right, that rivalry exists to an extent. So I can tell you from talking to Rabbi Harris and Hanc, for him, he was like, I don't want to throw all my chips down in the regular season because I know who I'm seeing in the championship. So, it's always in the back of both of their heads.
Well, for not throwing somebody's chips down during the regular season, these two teams sure had two really good matchups during the regular season this year.
Absolutely. Look, I reffed the game in Hanc. That was the second matchup that Halb won. And it was really just such a tight game. And if it's anything like it is, like if today is anything like it will be, then, back as it was then, it's going to be a fantastic game, really tight, and every single shift will matter.
So you refer to the second game. That first game, though, Hanc won. Hanc won just as easily as Halb won while in that other game. So we really have two somewhat evenly matched teams, and even as Rabbi Harris and as Stephen Mark, the coach of Halb, have said, these two teams, they're diametric opposites. Offense, defense, offense is such a very big parallel in terms of side and speed on both ends.
Absolutely, and Halb is a little bit more built from the front. They have that power with Lampert and Marks, while Hanc they have Itai, what was it? It was Itai Holtzman in net, and then they're also building out with Avi Hackle and on offense then having Eliav Rothbard. So on one end where they're a little bit more defensive focused, the other side could score, and Halb could really score if you give them even the slightest opportunity.
Well, we're about a minute away from our championship game. I want to thank everybody who made this game possible. First of all, to Hafter, but also we'd be remiss if we didn't thank everybody around the league, around the communities, around all of hockey, around the schools, the principals, the administrators, the athletic directors that made hockey possible this year. Commissioner Eric Gelman. It's great to have hockey back. It's great to have everybody here once again celebrating these kids and hockey. In about 20 seconds, hopefully, they'll be retrieving the teams from their locker room, and I will be covering my second duty of the night, which will be pregame introductions. Well, I'm going to now send it down to, well, me for pregame introductions. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hebrew Academy of Five Towns Rockaway for the 2021-2022 Yeshiva Junior High Hockey League Championship game, featuring the Hanc Hurricanes and the Halb Lions. Now let's introduce the participants for today's game. First for the Hanc Hurricanes. Evan Mizrahi. Offense number 11, Nathaniel Sadi. On defense, number 26, Avi Hako. And on defense, number 99, Isaac Silberger. In goal, number 14, Itai Holtzman. Head coach of the Hurricanes is Rabbi Owen Harris. And now for the Halb Lions. Number 3, Michael Freund. Defense number 33, Zebi Fuchs. Offense number 11, Joshua Lampert. On offense number 94, Ami Marks. And in goal number 36, David Feldhammer. Head coach of the Lions is Stephen Marks. Your referees for today's game are Yjhshl and Shmuley Stern. At this time, we ask you to please rise for the playing of Hatikva and the national anthem of the United States of America. Hatikva first. As we bring it back into the broadcast booth, again, want to thank our sponsors, Yeshiva League Pass. Want to thank Hafter for allowing us to have this game here in Hafter today. Thank the Hafter administration. And thank you to all of you for tuning in on CMZ Productions broadcast of the 2022 Yeshiva Junior High School championship game between Halb and Hanc. Avidan, right off the bat, what is this moment right here just before the puck drop for these kids?
I'll tell you, this is where the heart is beating the hardest. You have all the adrenaline pumping. You had your name called out to a really rabid crowd. This is everything before pregame that you would imagine it to be.
It's like the noise is so, even on our side, we're on the bench side. We are across from everybody, and yet we can still feel and hear everybody almost over us. It's deafening in here.
Not for nothing, there is no more standing room left in this gym. There is nowhere else you could stand. You can't get through the door.
Well, unless you're sitting with Joey Honig up in the director's box up there. Thank you, Joey, for everything you put into allowing this game to happen here today as well. 12 minutes are on the clock now. Everybody's getting ready in front of their nets. And we're about to have championship hockey for the first time in 3 years for these kids. It's amazing. The last time there was a championship hockey game, the oldest of these kids was in 5th grade.
It says a lot for what this game could end up being, because nobody has experience. Nobody has an advantage here. It is purely best on best.
And then you also throw in this court. You and I had to prepare for a court like this for a championship game 4 years ago. How does the court play a factor for these kids as well?
Oh, look, And for us, it saved us a first goal in our championship game because it takes a minute to get used to shooting on this floor. It takes a minute to get used to stick handle on the floor because of the rubber. The ball doesn't move the same way. So it definitely takes a little bit out of it in the beginning, where if someone can make a mistake and you can pounce on it, you can have an early opportunity here.
Just for the folks at home, imagine you're bouncing a rubber blue handball. That is what you're going to see a lot of on this court. And just from small bounces, balls going to get lifted in the air, it's going to bounce about, I guess, waist high on most occasions.
Look, I was reffing here 2 nights ago, and as a referee dropping the ball, you drop the ball, it almost comes right back up to your hand. So it's something just to be aware of.
Well, here we go for the opening face-off of the 2022 Yjshl Championship game. Ball sent into the Hanc zone. Hackle dropping back. Rothberg trying to help it out. Fuchs sends the ball over the goalie's head. Halb keeps it in. Hackle sent it out. You're going to hear a little bit of a hackle going on because both teams have a hackle. Sadiq kept in by Hackle.
Already we were able to see someone miss a shot because of the flooring there.
And I guarantee it'll happen way, way more tonight as Lampert comes around the net, tries to send it to the middle, blocked, comes out at the line. Hackle drops back, sends the ball into the far corner. Freund and Rothbart, ball kept in by the Hanc defense. And the bounciness is on display again. Hackle, this one Avi Hackle. When you hear Hackle being announced for Halb, it'll be Aaron Hackle. Halb moves in and a shot on net and saved by Holtzman. 10:57 to go, first period.
Already we're seeing Halb's game plan for this one is trying to feed the ball to the middle to get a shot on net from right in front.
Seems to be the exact same thing they tried to do the other night. Hafter, with a very smart game plan, did their best to take the middle away, forcing Halb to go to the side. Let's see if Hanc learned anything from that game and whether or not Halb is going to be able to counteract it tonight. Ball goes into the corner. Rothbart dropping back on defense to help out. Sadiq. Ball goes out of the zone. Halb would have been offsides. Marks kept that ball in his own zone. A little bit of a miscue there. Hanc touches up. Ball on net. Gloved by Holtzman and dropped. Cleared out of the zone. Freund trying to send it up the boards. Lampert trying to use his body, but as we discussed in the pregame, there's the size of Hank's defense really matching up well with the size of Halb's offense.
And that's going to be a key for
Well, as we have a whistle with 10:06 to go. Face off. Ball skirts around. Klinger backhands it. Battle in the corner between three players. And Ackerman not able to clear the zone. Ball sent behind the net. Klein and Goldris on Binkowitz.
So what we're seeing from Hanc already is they're sending 3 guys down low.
The classic comeback and help out routine. Leaving one at the line. We saw this in the varsity and JV championships a little bit also. So it kind of points back to the games that we did several weeks ago. As you see, what looks to be a number 29 mark, that's actually going to be Aaron Hackle. Does not have his jersey, wearing a different jersey tonight. Freundlich clears it out of the zone. Goldris. Hanc trying to clear it out. Goes halfway up the boards. Binkowitz coming around the net. Tries to backhand it to Klinger, but intercepted by Klein. Klein backhands it out of the zone over the outstretched glove of Klinger. Sent back in. And kind of a lazy play there on both ends by both Hanc and Halb in that one. As Halb makes a line change. They'll bring back their top line D. And we'll see Mizrahi and Rogoff on the floor. Hanc will have Silberger, Rothbard, Hackel, and Sadi. It's top line. As Rothbard gets kicked out of the faceoff circle. Mizrahi sends it in. Silberger beating him back. 2 Halb players going in on 1 Hanc as now he gets joined. And gets the ball to the line, not able to get it out. Chases up his own attempt. Gets that out, just barely over the line. As we get a ball tipped off of a Halb player and out of play. 8:15 to go. First period here in the junior high championship game between Halb and Hanc.
So, Elliot, when you're having to go against a defense like Hank's, what do you think? What does Halb have to look for as an open opportunity with 3 guys down low?
Halb's got to look to play to the point. They have to be able to make use of those point men and send the passes across. Keep Hanc on their toes, as you see Rogoff trying to take a turn around. Goes behind the net with the ball. Backhands it to Freund. Freund sends shots in the net, and it's saved by Holtzman already on the ground. And we see a ball's loose in front of Feldhammer. Feldhammer misplaying that and dropping that. To your question, you got to learn to use the points a little bit. Points got to cheat in a little bit. Be ready to take a pass a little closer because they're giving you the opportunity to move in. As David Kolb said in the varsity game, that offenseman at the line now has to figure out which player he's going to take. Either he moves in on the guy moving in or he stays at the line. But either way, somebody has a clear opportunity for a pass. Ball bounces around and gets sent out by Sadi. Feldhammer sends it to the wall, and Halb gets it out of the zone. Ball gets loose in front of the Hanc net and rolls all the way to the Halb net, where we'll have a whistle, 7:41 to go.
So that's now the second time in consecutive plays where we've seen the goalies struggle with this floor and the bouncing ball. One on the Halb side where the goalie thought he had it. It rolls out to the side, and Hanc almost got an opportunity. And over there now, the ball just rolls out through the middle because it's really hard to just match this ball.
As we see Rothbard getting kicked out again, he's going to get a penalty at some point. He's a little too quick on the trigger there. Hackel going in. Lampert. Oh, Marks with a little shove with the stick. Might have been a little bit of a cross-check. Ball sent down. A little bit of a race for the ball. We've got 2 Halb players on one side. A little bit of a miscommunication. Klinger brings it up, tries to get it to the net, misses it. Marks comes around with the ball, gets to the middle, and he puts it over the goalie. Sadi comes around the net and sends it roller back to the goalie for another whistle. So you're hearing a lot of offensemen's names deep in the defensive zone. Now, as a coach, you gotta wonder how long you're going to be able to do that, especially with your top stars running the full length of the court.
Absolutely, and at some point you also have to be able to generate some offense. If they're deep in the zone, it's really hard to get those opportunities.
As the ball gets sent into the corner, blocked by a Halb defenseman. Gets past Hackel. Lampert has a lead on it, gets to it. It was paddled aside by Holtzman, keep making sure it didn't get a wide open chance in front. Hackel comes away with the ball. Marks pulls it from him. Hackel with a very good play behind the net, very strong, sending the ball behind the Halb net. Klinger with 2 players, Halb players sending the ball out. Hackel, bad clearing. Lampert off. Lampert trying to deal with the bounce there, but Lampert should have had a wide open opportunity. Marks, same thing. Marks bounces it in! Well, that's a situation where the bounce worked in his favor.
Absolutely, he bounced that like a basketball to get his opportunity.
Well, if you can't beat him, bounce him, right?
Absolutely.
Marks with a great play from Lampert. Batting it out of midair, batting it at the ground, right in front of the crease, going over the goalie's glove for the goal. 6:23 to go, first period of play.
I have to say that might be one of the more clever goals we've seen in a championship game. Being able to take this gym to his advantage and really just bounce it right past a goalie who doesn't really have experience having to deal with that kind of a shot, because you don't see that anywhere other than here.
As you see, Marks back with it. Klinger keeping the ball in. Hackle. Marks sends it back down. Got Lampert and Hackle going against each other. And we're going to get a penalty on Lampert. Lampert's getting called for what's going to probably be a rough.
That or an elbow.
As we get the penalty situation as well. As we get set up for the power play, for the Hanc power play. Hanc looking to overcome that goal and hope to do it on this power play. Mizrahi gets in the zone. Fans looking for a penalty. Absolutely not.
No, that's the follow through.
It's not even that. Mizrahi tried to get it past him and then tried to move past him as he was backing up towards the ball. No way you're going to get a call for that. He was moving backwards towards the ball. Even though he was facing up on Mizrahi, you're not going to get a penalty if the guy is moving backwards towards the ball and you run into him. Teams line up. Ritter tries to send the ball across to Rothbard. Rothbard on his back, tries to turn forehand. Getting haunted, sends the ball through. Sadiq racing for it. Sadiq with Freund on him. Sadiq comes around the net. Sadiq pulling it wide. Sadiq tries to send it across to Ritter, does not get it to him. As you see, Freund now in the corner playing with the ball. Got 5:04 left to go in the first period of play. Got it 30 seconds left on the penalty as Hanc now has possession of the zone. Sadiq tries to send it across. Paddled away by Feldhammer. Ball rolls around the top of the zone. Freund backhands it into the Hanc zone. Hackle tries to clear it and misses it. Now sends a roller into the wall deep in the Halb zone. As we are 5 seconds left to go with the penalty. Ball gets sent across. And Hanc has squandered that opportunity. Halb successfully calling the penalty as Lampert gets right in there. Lampert comes around, tries to send a shot to the net, gets deflected. Fuchs. Ball gets blocked. And stopped by Holtzman for a whistle.
So interesting here, Halb did not put Marks on for that penalty kill. And now they're able to go Lampert and Marks against what's going to be Hank's second line to try to take advantage of a little matchup potentially.
Well, it seems like they're actually trying to go back full second line here, which you're correct. That would have been the right play because, as you said, that they both would have been fresh at this point. But Halb is choosing to match lines and play 2-2.
Not necessarily a bad strategy for them either with a lead.
4 minutes to go, first period of play after killing off a power play for Hanc. 4 players in the corner. Pinkowitz comes out with it. Ball sent back by Silbiger. Weitzman clearing the ball out. Weitzman's first action today. Freundlich gets it to Pinkowitz. Pinkowitz with Goldrus on him. 2 Hanc players. Weitzman. Seems like this is going to be Hank's strategy, putting 2 to the ball side, possibly even 3, as you see Klein trying to help out. But you got to come out with the ball there. Silbiger. Klinger keeps it in. Goldrus is going to get to it. Hackle's going to be on him, though. Hackle sends the ball through. Klinger sends the ball to the net. What a save. Holtzman didn't realize where it was.
Great way to pick out his right pad, though, to get it out.
Yeah, well, it almost backfired because he had no idea where that ball went after he saved it. That ball bounces to the middle. Halb has a great opportunity. As right there, Binkowitz missing a great opportunity right in front.
He'll tell you, though, he directed it.
Didn't direct it the right way, though. Klinger sends it through. Binkowitz. Kept in by Florinda. Hanc sends the ball out. And the ball goes behind the Halb net. Klinger clears it backhand. Binkowitz sends it on net. Silberger sending it out to Feldhammer. Got a whistle, 2:28 to go, first period.
So it looks like Halb's starting to work the point now. They see it's open, they're trying to work it.
Absolutely. The question is, will they start cheating the point in a little bit to get a better angle? Right now, you've seen 2 passes literally to the red dot right in front of us. They have the wide open lane, the wide open angle between the gray lines and the 3-point line with a much better angle.
Well, that's the balance you have to have in a championship game, worrying still about your defense.
As we see the 2 teams line up. Ball gets backhanded to the line and out of the zone as it's bouncing everywhere. Fuchs gonna run with it behind his net. Gets caught on the backboards. Freund will cut and drop in behind. Marks now with the ball. Great pass. Holtzman did not see that, but he got it. But he was stacked up there in order to get that. As Halb is starting to use the middle for passes now. They're getting clear lanes. Hackle. Marks coming out with it. Ritter. Ball cannot be cleared. And Hanc is good. Hanc touched up. Ball gets sent out into the Hanc zone. Hackle sends the ball down. Freund. Tzadi. Freund and Rothbart doing battle.
So we're seeing something a little bit new here, where they're leaving an offenseman back right here looking for the clear. You saw Marks is backing up, looking for them to clear the ball into him.
Well, it seems that they're recognizing that, and Marks is going to get called for that cross check now.
Halb's got to make sure they keep their head here.
That's not the first time he's done that tonight. This is the first time he got called for it, though.
They have to be careful. You don't want to keep giving Hanc a power play to get back in this. Even if they don't score, they can start getting some momentum back. Halb had all the momentum coming into this.
Halb penalty number 94, Ami Marks for cross-checking. Time in the penalty. 10:51 of the first period.
And we have a timeout for Halb here.
Timeout, Halb.
So on the Hanc side, right, one of the things that we saw coming, on their first power play is that while they had the cross pass through the middle open, they also have a very strong shot at the point that they didn't take advantage of yet with Hackle. So we could see them start working it back, see if they can start spreading out Halb, make the middle a little bit more open, and maybe take some shots from the point.
Coming out of this timeout, we'll see what they elect to do. Timeout with 1:09 in the first period in a game right now that's 1-0. Definitely an interesting take on it. Possibly could have been a matchup thing, but or really just to calm players down.
It really could be. I think Halb knows that they're getting a little too aggressive, taking a little bit too many penalties, playing a little bit too close. Calm it down a little bit, settle your team down, kill off the penalty, go into the break up 1-0 or better.
So the good thing for Halb is if they could last the minute 9, they get a break, so they can keep out their full penalty kill for the full minute and a half, because this will go into the next period. But it's not an even split. But if they can last the minute 9, they'll be able to keep those same players on for the remainder of the penalty kill on the other side. Ball gets into the zone, put on net. Ball's loose. 1 minute remaining in the first period. Ball gets sent. And there we go. A bounce that was missed. Here comes Mizrahi. Sends the ball to the corner. There's Hackle for you. You called it.
Look, I saw him in pregame. He has a really good shot.
As we have 36 seconds left to go in the first period. Ball kept in the zone by Silbiger. Now it's cleared out. You have Hackle back. Hackle being the first one back. Hackle just winding up and trying to fire. Mizrahi blocking the ball. 25 seconds to go in this period. Ball gets sent back into the zone, and Hanc just clearing the ball out. Freund just sending the ball, basically just sending the ball back and forth to each other here. As with 10 seconds to go in this period, does not look like Hanc is going to get another decent shot off. Possession in the zone as we have an offsides with 3 seconds to go. Neither Hanc really not looking for possession, just really clearing the ball out at this point.
I think they're trying to make sure Halb isn't able to fully set. You know, put a little bit of pressure on the defensemen, try to get breaks that way.
Yeah, but as the first period comes to a close, with the power play, with Halb being as aggressive as they are on the penalty kill, wouldn't it make more sense to try to make a pass across to the other defenseman and try to move out of the zone?
It depends on your players. And when you're coaching, you have to decide whether that's going to be a strength for your players. And Hanc may not feel that they're best in possession trying to break through the zone. They'd rather try to do something quick on a rush, on a clear. Right now, it's obviously worked in Halb's favor because you're playing dump and chase back and forth is always going to go towards the defensive team.
Well, we'll see how Hanc and how Halb adjust in the second period when we come back. Second period of hockey here at Hafter for the Yjhshl championship game.
When I was in 9th grade, someone told me to give up on ball. He told me, basketball will only take you so far in life. You're not going to make it to the NBA, he said. What he was missing is that making it to the NBA isn't the only reason why we play. The game of basketball leaves you with so much more than just the game itself. The life lessons and friendships that are made while playing the game will outlive the game and can last a lifetime.
after for the 2021-2022 Yjhshl Championship between Halb and Hanc. Halb with a first period lead on a goal by Ami Marks. Great job using the bounces of the floor. How the bounces really affected the first period.
Well, in the beginning, it was exactly like we said. The goalie struggled a little bit, but we've already seen them start to adjust. And that first goal was really just a very, very intelligent, really, really athletic goal, where it took advantage of hand-eye coordination and understanding how the ball is going to bounce, where he bounced it up to himself and then bounced it over the goalie.
It also seems like players are having a hard time with their sticks on the floor because of the rubber.
Well, yeah, and we saw on the Hanc first power play where I think they struggled with their cross passes through the middle. They're struggling with the floor a little bit. Being able with their stick, being able to slide it around and everything.
The same thing over here on the second power play. There was an opportunity right in front of the net. Wide open side, just completely missed because the stick got caught on the floor. As Hanc comes back out onto the court with a few seconds left before we start the second period of play.
So, Elliot, we've both been down before in a championship game. What do you say here? What are you saying here to your team? To try, if you're on the Hanc side, to try to rally them up to get them into this game and try to get a quick goal.
So the base answer is 0-0. I've been down before on a fluke goal, hit off of a foot, went into the net, and that was with the best goalie in the league. But as a technical, with a technical team, you got to remind them, you're in the championship. You made it here. You're a good team. You know how to score goals, clearly. The same way they had a bounce, you can create your own bounce. It's a 0-0 game. If you score one, it's right back to where it was.
So let's take it to the other side now, right? You're winning 1-0. You got a good goal. You on the PK? What are you saying here?
Same answer. Play your game. Make sure to not try to get a little too over-aggressive, and just stay in the mode for the next however many for the next 21 seconds of the power play. As Fuchs clears it, or tries to clear it, ball gets sent behind the net. About 10 seconds left on the penalty. Ball gets sent back to Hackle. Hackle able to keep it in. Mizrahi, though, gets it out. And we have another penalty kill by Halb, as Marks now has it fresh out of the box in the corner. Marks on the turn. Save. Ball gets bounced in the air. Goes into the corner now. Hackle.
Big play by Hackle there to go and take away that ball, because that could have very easily ended up on an offenseman sticking in the back of the net.
Ball's bouncing around the middle, sent in to the goalie. Goalie will cover, and we'll get a whistle with 11:02 to go. 58 seconds into the second period.
So if you're Hanc, are you willing to push the button here and maybe drop, get a little bit more aggressive offensively, try to take back the momentum a little bit?
Depends what your game plan is. If your game plan is to potentially wear Halb out by having three back and making them play against three men, then maybe you want to wait a little more, see how it goes. If your game plan is, well, let's just see what happens, then you pretty much try everything. Whatever works, whatever gets you that goal. As the ball bounces out of the zone, Halb is offsides, and Hanc not taking advantage of it, sending the ball back into the zone. Hank's got to be able to take advantage of those opportunities more and not just throw the ball right back out. Discipline is a massive part of a championship game. Lampert coming around the net, getting hounded, taken away. Ball goes to the line. Hackle gets blocked. Silberger keeps the ball in. Silberger again. Great job at the line. Ball will go out. Hackle will backhand it in. Ball bounces. Lampert has it in the zone. Gets kept in by Sadiq. Great job by Sadiq. Throwing Sadiq. Sadiq comes out with it. Sadiq keeping throwing to his back.
That's now the second play Sadiq has made. That's a pure hustle play. Taking the ball away from a defender, trying to keep the ball in the zone. He's really been influential for Hank's offense just to keep possession down low.
But there you see he gave the ball away. Marks now has it wide open, takes a shot. Save made. Marks getting his own rebound. just overpowering Silberger in the corner right there. Comes around with it, has the open lane, does not get a shot. I'll probably look like the court and a combination of another stick at the same time. Sadi, Silberger keeping the ball in. Ball bounces in front. Sadi tries to backhand it, does not get ball down on the floor. And we have a whistle for stoppage of play as the net has come off the moorings.
I think that was a better shift for Hanc there. They were able to get a little bit more going in the offensive zone. They haven't gotten a shot towards the net, but they're getting possession. They're taking the game a little bit into their own game plan.
Well, that was set up by Sadi, very much so, because of his control in the corner. As we now have a face-off, 9:20 left. Hanc going with their second line. Goldris. Ball's in the corner and gets cleared out into the Halb zone, bouncing to the net. Freundlich sends it on it, and he misses the ball! Oh, that almost bounced over him. Another one. Holtzman's without a stick now. Ball took a very awkward bounce on him.
It seems like he's still really having a hard time with the floor.
Klinger bodying off Ackerman. Ritter drops back, but it's picked up and backhanded into the zone by Halb. Freundlich sends the ball to the net. Klinger moving up with it. Misses the shot. And Ritter sending the ball out. That's the floor again.
We've seen the floor a lot tonight.
Freundlich, well, it's right there. We can't miss it.
We've seen it affect the game a lot tonight.
Yes. Goldris, ball cleared on net. Misplayed, mishandled again. As we have a whistle, 8:17 to go. Second period. It's too early in the night to see the floor, Avidan. Then again, I used to say that to you in 7th grade, too.
Yeah, after that I went on to, captain your team, but it's okay.
This is the fun of getting to call a game with somebody that you used to coach and coach with at the same time. Ball goes out, and we have ourselves an offsides. Ball will come out into the Hanc zone, 8:13 to go. Weitzman will match up against Rogoff. 8:13 to go as this place gets loud again. Adrenaline's definitely pumping. Klinger drops back. Weitzman on him. Klinger tries to clear it out. Mizrahi will get that ball out the other way. Kept in by Freundlich with a great play at the line. Ball will go out of the zone.
So speaking about the crowd, when you play in these games, you really don't get as tired as you would in a normal game because you really have that adrenaline that you feed off of from the crowd. And the louder they get, the more energy and more you feel it. And it can really help you just on these later in the shift, just pushing further.
Now, in a gym like this, the sound reverberates because it is literally right on top of you. There's no place for the sound to go. It is bouncing off the walls, much like the ball is on this floor. As the ball gets into the corner, Freundlich. Weitzman with a great play on him. Weitzman coming away with the ball. Freundlich taking it from him, sending it into the Hanc zone. Ritter matching up with Mizrahi. Rogoff turns around, sends it to the net, and safe. Backhand by Rogoff, by Mizrahi. Goldris tries to clear it out. Ball gets out past Klinger. Weitzman running back to Klinger. Ball kept in at the line. Great keep by Hanc. Weitzman tries to send it across. Sends it right into Rogoff, though, and Rogoff will be able to clear it into the corner. Goldris running back. Goldris missing on the swing. Mizrahi doing a great job of hounding him. And Freundlich will get a hand pass call. There's the bounce. It bounces away from Freundlich after the hand, and it goes right to a player. Sometimes it bounces for you, sometimes it bounces against you.
I'll tell you, though, that one, that's a little bit more of just he was hitting it forward, keeping it in the zone. I don't blame LaFleur there.
All right. Sadi will match up with Lampert, the 2-11s. Groin. Silberger keeping the ball in. Still a 1-0 game here. Ami Marks, so far the only goal on the night. Silberger. Lampert trying to feed Marks in the slot. Ball gets the line. Freund Marks has the ball. Marks tries to move up with it. He does. He sends it to the net. Ball's loose coming around. Lampert tries to send it to the net. Saved aside. Marks tries to send it behind the net. Ball goes right out of play. You see what I'm seeing in the middle there? Halb is putting a player in the slot for a pass, and no Hanc player is on him.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to force Hanc to start doing anything other than just clearing it right out, and Hanc hasn't adjusted yet.
We'll see if they have the opportunity to. Hackle sends the ball out. Marks moving in with it. Marks moves to his right, sends the ball, goes behind the net. Marks getting his own rebound. Ball goes behind, and Hackle tries to clear it out. Does not get there. Sadiq on net. Paddled away by Feldhammer. Halb moving up with the ball. Lampert tries to send it across. Hackle. Sadiq. Hackle. Hackle sends the ball out of the zone. Sadiq with Fuchs. Fuchs trying to backhand it. Fuchs with Sadiq on him. Fuchs backhanding it out of zone. Great clear as Lampert and Hackle go body to body. Sends it right in the middle. There's Fuchs moving in. And there's the first play you see the defenseman moving in for a pass.
Yeah, it's open space right in the middle.
Absolutely. Lampert. Oh, and Lampert. Hackle using his hand. Sadiq. Hal bench calling for a penalty. Probably should have been. Sadiq sends the ball to the middle and cleared out. Lampert with the high stick, and we'll get a whistle.
I'll tell you, we haven't been calling Lampert's name as much here. Hank's really been able to, neutralize him a little bit, but even right there, Hanc has to play so aggressively that they could get called for a penalty and end up working against them.
So the problem is you're also you're focusing on the captain, and then the assistant captain is running rampant in Ami Marks with the ball in front. So you have to really pick your poison as the ball gets knocked into the corner. Binkowitz going to try to have a 2-on-1, does not get there. Sadiq, Freundlich, 4 players at the line. Rothbard first to the ball. Rothbard trying to control. We haven't called Rothbard's name that much tonight either. Rothbard tries to backhand to Sadiq. Sadiq does not see the ball, and ball gets sent out of the zone. Going back and forth like a slap shot game. Klinger.
It looks like Hanc finally got their first line against Halb's second line. See if they can take advantage a little bit.
Rothbard. Hackle keeps it in. Tries to send it down low. Right now, Halb's second line as the other Hackle on Hackle. Freundlich sends it behind the net. And we have a whistle. We have a slashing penalty, and Hanc will go to the box. Halb will go to the power play. 4:22 left to go in the second period. And we got a timeout for Hanc. So as Sadiq goes to the box, Hanc is now without one of their bigger and faster offensemen.
I would imagine he's probably one of their top chasers on the penalty kill, one of their top offensemen on the penalty kill, just with his hustle and and the way he and the way he works both zones. So this could be a big loss for them, but it was kind of like what we were saying before, where like Hank's starting to get a little bit too aggressive, and that that penalty kind of spoke to it, where he just got a little bit too much with his stick, and now he's in the box for a minute and a half.
And as you see the timeout called, I'm going to say the timeout was called for a personnel reason, because it's the same 3 players that are going to be on the floor. It's the top line, as we just mentioned. It looks like it's Rothbard. It looks like it's Rothbard. It's going to be Silviger, and
Hackle.
It's going to be Hackle. So there we have 3.
Now, if you're Halb, I have to imagine your power play is going to run through Marks and Lampert. I mean, they're your 2 top guns. They're the guys who really have generated the most offense for Halb all season.
Well, they're 3 offensemen now because they have their Hackle on now too. So they may try to fall into a 3-1. There's a lot they can do. We'll have to see how they set up, as they'll have the full complement of a minute and a half, and a goal now really can put a lot of pressure on Hanc, given the lack of shots on net.
They also have a nice righty-lefty combination there, where they have 2 big shots on either side if they want it.
It's the Halb way. You have 2 shots at the line like that. Fuchs with Rothbard on him. Rothbard getting a little over-aggressive, but the ball kept in by Hackle, sent behind. Rothbard with the ball now. Rothbard trying to get the corner to kill it. 2 Halb players going in after him, Fuchs and Marks. Rothbard killing off about 10 seconds of the penalty by himself. Marks, Silberger handing the ball back in. Ball will go out of play. Come back into the Hanc zone. They can say off Halb.
Yeah. Well, that was an intelligent play by Rothbard. I know for myself when I'm playing offense, and I'm down 1-0, I kind of look for the opportunity, see if I could get something off there instead of kill it. But you know what? Being able to knock off 10, 15 seconds of a power play in the corner isn't a bad option either.
You want to be careful, though. You don't want to get caught behind and have a 4-on-2 back the other way, though. Rothbard going behind the net with Freund. Freund sends it across to Marks, and this is what we were talking about. Marks winding up, sends it to the net, and it paddled away out of midair. Hackle. Lampert has the ball back. Lampert goes behind the net. Lampert sends it to Marks. Marks shoots, and he's wide open. Had the other side of the net to shoot at. Holtzman getting up to that side, but the other side of the net was wide open. Great play. Set that up again. You may get yourself a goal as Lampert comes across the face of the and scores.
That was an excellent shot, just right over the glove. You can't do much better than that shot.
It was perfect. He found the hole right through the middle of the floor, put it right back where the goalie was moving away from.
Yeah, and you know what? His pass, he also had the pass over to Marks earlier in the power play, and that opens up Hanc a little bit because Hanc has to now start worrying about Marks on the cross pass, and now it allows Lampert to have a little bit more space to drive into the net and get that goal.
So you got a little bit of a double whammy now for Hanc. You've just called your timeout. You were on the penalty kill. You gave up a goal. You're now down 2. As we try to see, Hanc tries to make a substitution. They're not going to allow it.
If you're Hanc, you got to find a way to get Rothbard and Sadiq back on. You need a goal.
Well, they're both here. The question is, can they both go? I mean, Rothbard was just on for the entire penalty kill, and was on before the timeout as well.
It's the championship. You got to give it what you got.
Absolutely. But sometimes you've got to make sure you have it. Rothbard sends it to the middle. Sadiq a little too far. As Sadiq and Marks will do battle. Marks sends the ball out. Sorry, that's not Marks. That's Fuchs. Freund sending the ball in. Halb will touch up. Ball sent towards the net. Hackle.
Speaking on Rothbard being on for the 2 shifts before that, Hanc already had to make a quick substitution into their second line.
And so now we're going to have to see how they play. Halb seems to have followed them, though.
Well, that's been Halb all night. Halb's been looking to just get their second line against Hanc's second line because they feel like they have the advantage both ways.
So let's see if they can. Let's see if the second line can generate. The second line has been generating, but Hanc now has a little bit of a push right here. Ball gets sent out into the Hanc zone. Goldress backing up. Ball gets sent across by Hackle. Hackle with the ball, with Hackle on him. Ball gets through from the goalie. Klein, not Hackle, that was Klein. Ball gets in the middle, loose in the middle, it's just rolling there. Hanc having all sorts of trouble clearing the ball out of their zone.
Well, I can tell you, I think Halb's figured it out.
Absolutely, they're making sure to get the ball right to the middle to make them try to clear it.
Oh, they have a play here. Hank's got to be careful. They're really leaving the middle open.
Klinger drops in, sends the ball into the corner, not hitting the net. But he's going to have that. We've been discussing. He's going to have that shot all night.
Yeah, but if he has that shot, you'd hope that Hank's defense would be a little bit stronger in front of their net. But because they haven't figured out the floor yet, they're struggling even to play defense in front of their own net, which has already been beaten once on.
Freundlich sending the ball out of play. 1:12 to go, second period. 2-0 Halb. As Hank's got to think of an answer either within the next 1:12 or very early on in the third period, because they're very much in danger of one more mistake putting them down in a hole that they probably will have a very hard time getting out of. As the ball gets to the net, you got a whistle stoppage of play. Holtzman corralling it in after not fielding the shot cleanly.
I think this is the point in the game where you usually reel me in, because I'm looking to go into a 3-1 to try to generate some extra offense. You know, a minute left, see if you go in, down 2-1.
Well, Hanc may want to think about that soon, because right now what they're doing isn't getting the offense that they're really needing. They're getting offensive spurts, but this is a situation where I may actually agree with a 3-1 to start the third period.
No, I would even do it here, 53 seconds left.
1 minute to play in the second period.
You know, with a minute left, if you're able to get like one goal, go down 2-1, you have a bunch of momentum on your side, you're feeling good about yourself, it makes it a lot easier on the comeback. If you have to go into this locker room down 2-0, it's that much harder.
Ball goes behind the net. Mizrahi sends the ball to the net. Fuchs keeps it in. Mizrahi. Fuchs Mizrahi, that's a score. Ball gets sent out. Freund. Rothbard sends it to the net. Oh, and just misses. Can't tell if that hit the goalie, if that just rolled through the crease. Rothbard tries to send it. Saved by Freund. 20 seconds to go, second period of play, 2-0 Halb. Rothbard keeps the ball in, sends the ball to the net. Freund sends the ball out of zone. Rogoff will battle with Silberger as the clock runs down to 10 seconds. Hackle comes around, sends the ball over the goalie. Rothbard trying to keep it in. And we are 2 periods down here in Hafter for the Yjhsl championship game. We'll be back shortly with the third period.
When I was in 9th grade, someone told me to give up on ball. He told me, basketball will only take you so far in life. You're not going to make it to the NBA, he said. What he was missing is that making it to the NBA isn't the only reason why we play. The game of basketball leaves you with so much more than just the game itself. The life lessons and friendships that are made while playing the game will outlive the game and can last a lifetime.
We are back. We're about ready for the third period. Another minute left on the clock. Teams are starting to file to the bench. About to hit the third period, Avidan. Want to bring you back to your playing days. 7th grade. Your team in the championship, the Halb, went in down 3. Within a minute and a half, game was tied. 8th grade. You went into the third period up 2. Within 2 minutes, that game was tied. Talk about the difference in opportunity and just how quickly the game can turn.
You know what it comes down to? Somebody has to step up. And when it was me, right, we had Dovey Orlovsky when I was in 7th grade. Westchester had Matt Povman, right? You need someone to now just lift everyone up. And when you do that, when you have that one player who just lifts you up, everybody else goes to another level.
And the irony is, you mentioned the 2 stars. For both of those years, it was role players. Not role players, but just it wasn't the stars. It was the secondary scoring. For your 7th grade year, it was Sam Dratch and Didi Levy that really powered through that early, 7th grade. And then the year after was Jacob Abudi, a 6th grader, playing in the championship, scoring 2 goals to tie the game up at 4.
I think it's a disservice to talk about any of those players as anything other than stars in their respective years. Abudi was fantastic for Westchester. Dratch and Didi Levy were 2 of the best players in any age group.
Absolutely. And just in terms of those years, though, as we have started the third period, Hackle with the ball, tries to send it through the middle. Trying to stuff it in short side, not getting there. The ball gets sent out of play.
So I got the opportunity to walk by the Hanc locker room in between periods, and one of the things they were talking about was that the pressure's on Halb to hold this lead. And I agree with that. You know, when you come in and you're holding the lead, you are worried about them catching up. And if you could get one, you get in their head a little bit, and it's easy to get it's not easy, it's never easy. But it becomes easier to get the second one. The second one's easier than the first. And one of the things Hank's looking for with their defensemen is they do want to have them cheating in a little bit here once they have possession. See if they can take advantage, create some mismatches.
As you see right there, Rockport keeping the ball in the zone, but sending it into the corner. Hank's got to start sending it to the net, much less the corner. Ball gets sent out. Lampert going to be the first one to get there. Lampert coming around the net with Hackle on him. Lampert and Hackle. And they're going to call a penalty for closing his hand on the ball. Ooh, that's close. That's close.
Look, you got to be careful. That's not the way Hank wanted to start. You can't get yourself put in the box this early, and it's just like a little bit of a
mental lapse.
A mental lapse.
Yeah, this is a point where they can. This is the point where they can really take over the game and really put a capper on it. As Halb gets to work on their power play, Marks is going to get the ball at the 3-quarter mark. Lampert offsides, and the ref's calling it right there correctly. Lampert. Halb has had a little bit of an offside issue all year. Last week in the semifinal game against Hafter, 3 plays in a row, offsides, really squandering opportunities for them. They have to. I know it's 2-0. Each of them wants the opportunity to put this game away, but they got to be a little more disciplined.
Absolutely, but they see the opportunity in front of them, and I think it's just so exciting for them with their ability to shoot from the back, just to get a rebound.
Lampert tries to send the ball in behind. Freund sends the ball to Marks. Marks winds up, and it's saved as Holtzman gets the pad close on it. See Halb trying to take advantage of using the cutting defensemen on their power play.
It's an interesting strategy because I don't think Hank's seeing it. They're defensemen. They're not noticing the movement that they're seeing at the point. And the more Halb moves, the more Hank's going to get confused.
Everybody on Hanc is facing the ball. They're not looking at the man. Lampert calling the ball at the line here. Ball gets set up to Hackle and across to Lampert. Lampert moves in. Lampert. Deeks around Silberger. Ball in the air. Pulled down. Marks moves up with the ball. Marks moves through the middle. Sends it in the save. Ball is loose. rolls across the crease and out by Silberger. Good play by Silberger as Rothbard sends it out of his zone.
Defensively, Silverberg's been really important on both ends of the floor because he's kept the ball in a lot when Hank's in the offense zone, and right there, he just saved the goal.
Yep, as we have another 20 seconds left in this power play. They save potentially the game there. Hackle. Ball rolls to Holtzman, and we have ourselves a whistle. 9:45 to go. 6 seconds left in the penalty. Halb the opportunity to put the game away.
Yeah, look, this was an important moment in the game for both sides. It becomes very difficult if Halb continues taking advantage, but this could be a momentum swing for Hanc when they're able to get Sadiq back out there on the floor.
And then all it takes is one.
Yeah.
All it takes is one. And then they say, I know the cliche, the worst lead is a 2-goal lead. Although some might say a 1-goal lead is probably worse. But there we go, Sadiq coming back on the floor. Freund sending the ball to the zone. Hackle. Matching up with Big Hackle. Backhands it out into the zone. Rothbard looking a little tired getting to the ball. Lampert coming back with it. Lampert putting on some speed. Lampert moving around with it. Tries to backhand it to the middle. Hackle trying to settle it down. Hackle has it. Sends the ball, but it's blocked. Great slide by Hanc Hackle. Lampert now in the corner. Lampert. Freund is not able to save it. Rothbard as will get a whistle, and it'll be an intentional offsides by Hackle. Aaron Hackle on that one. 9 minutes even left in the third period.
I think Rothbard's starting to feel it a little bit. That was a very long penalty kill where he had to work really hard running really the full length of the floor. Because defensively he was playing at the 3-point line, but on the actual kill part, he was running all the way down to the other side of the floor.
I'll be honest, given what we know, I'm kind of surprised that Halb isn't at least putting one of Lampert and Marks on the floor right now.
I think they know they have the advantage. They feel, they're looking at it, they're like, we have all the opportunities no matter who's on the floor. So they could just, when you have that ability, you can just keep rolling it out there.
As we see both teams' second lines. Sadi is out there with Ritter, so he's on with Ritter, Goldress, and Klein for Hanc.
I think you have to run Sadiq as much as you got him here. He's been the most effective player for Hanc, and anytime he's ready, he's got to be.
Well, he's also the most rested. He was just in the box for a minute and a half.
For sure, but I think if he can, you even double him here when Rothbard gets back.
I think you have no choice. Freundlicht sending the ball in. Ball sent on net. Oh, weird bounce. Here's the floor bounce, and that could have turned the game right there. Goldress dropping back, trying to backhand it. Kept in by Halb. Klein clearing it out. A little bit of a play by Feldhammer there.
When Halb's going into the offensive zone and Hanc decides to switch their defenseman, Halb's actually getting an opportunity in the middle because Hank's not moving quick enough to really cover the middle. So if Halb beats them to the ball first and throws it to the middle, they have an opportunity for just a free run at the net right in front of a goalie.
They've been doing that with the slot and the middle all night, and Hanc has not moved and focused on the player. They've stayed in their zone. Mizrahi sends the ball to the middle. There you go. Great call by you. Rogoff sends the ball. Mizrahi with the chance for a tap-in, but a great call by you right there. Goldress. Rothbard drops in. Sadiq. Ball goes back into the Hanc zone. Freundlich. Halb looking for yet another championship. Winners of the last championship, 5-0 over this very Hanc team 3 years ago. The last time a championship game was played. Halb has been in the last 2, the last 3, and 4 of the last 5, going all the way back to 2017.
And how many of those have they won?
Of those 4, they've won 3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, they've won 2 of them. This is they're on their way to potentially a third one in that stretch.
So it would be 3 and 5.
Yes, and one of the years they weren't in the championship. That was a grueling battle between North Shore and Hafter, won by North Shore. North Shore's championship, and then you had YCQ defeating Halb 4-1 for the championship the next year. As Klinger moves in, ball goes to the middle, and gloved by Holtzman with 6:36 to go. Getting to be crunch time, Berman. Getting to be crunch time.
You got to throw it. You got to throw in some more offense here. You got to find a way to generate something. If it means going 3 offensemen, you got to get a goal. You have to.
At this point, it's anything goes because it's getting late early. 1 or 2 whistles, you're going to have the switch, and then you start saying to yourself, okay, we switched sides, and now we really got to get one. But the fact of the matter is, you're putting all that pressure on yourself to get too many on the other side against a team that's played very well defensively against you.
I mean, Halb really hasn't set a foot wrong this whole game defensively. Get the ball out of the zone. We haven't been able to call so many Hanc opportunities. It's been really well played.
Absolutely. Halb has really controlled all ends and all margins of the floor here. Fuchs clearing the ball. They've been the first to almost every ball in their own zone. Tackle. Ball kept in. A 2-on-1 now because nobody's in the middle. Lampert hanging around, not moving up towards the ball. Marks controlling it. Keeping him on his back. Marks is doing it right here. Just keep the play going. Ball gets shot into the zone. Hanc is off sides. And Halb will have plenty of time, but they're a wasted opportunity. Plenty of time there. Hackle.
On these long shots, Hanc has to hit the net. Otherwise, it's just playing ping pong.
That's essentially what they're doing. Lampert making sure Marks stayed on side there. Great play by the captain. Freund moves up, tries to send it. Marks is looking a little tired. 5:29 to go. Marks sends it across to Lampert. Great play by Holtzman. Saved an opportunity right there for Lampert.
We're seeing the middle really opening up here for Hanc. And I don't know if it has to do with them trying to be more aggressive offensively and it's throwing them off a little bit in their own zone. But they could end this game with another goal. You got to be offensive, but you got to be smart at the same time with it.
You got to remember, if you trade goals here, it doesn't help you. It puts you back in the same spot. So you can score a goal, but you keep doing this to give up a goal. You're right back in the same situation, and you demoralize yourself because you now have to make up the same deficit. As the goalies have switched sides. 5:25 left to go, third period. Halb up 2-0. Goals by Marks and Lampert, 2 leaders of this Halb team. Sadiq sends it to the net and gloved. Feldhammer, but very much on point. Very much on point, very much in front of the ball today. Not really many opportunities other than the first couple of minutes of the first period.
I think he's done a really good job taking away the bottom of the net. He's been able to drop in with his pads down on a butterfly to really just take away a lot of what Hanc was getting just down low.
He's been very active and aggressive to the ball, too, as Mark sends the ball to the net. Saved by Holtzman. Ball gets sent out. Freund dropping back. Freund taking what they're giving him and just sends it out. Taking an extra second there, which is great because Hanc is not necessarily getting in there. Freund bodying up on Rothbart. Sends the ball out. Rothbart just getting outmanned and out-muscled.
I'm not sure what Hank's waiting for here in the offensive zone, though. They have to throw 2 guys to the corner, find a way to get possession. Really anything. Because Halb's playing a perfect hockey game. They really are. And when you're
sent to Fuchs. Fuchs moves in. Oh, that was a great pass. Great opportunity by Lampert.
But it really just perfect. You know, they're taking advantage of everything Hanc leaves open. Amazing play by Lampert just to find an open man cutting through the middle. And it's just been really it's a really well-prepared team acting on its strategy.
And so Hanc just called the timeout. Hanc called their second timeout. I don't know if they realized it. Halb was going with their second line. I know they want to go with their first line, but they're now giving Halb the opportunity to rest their top line and throw them right back out there.
Yeah, but you know, you're down 2-0. You're not thinking about anyone else other than yourself. If you feel like your first line can't take advantage of their second line with their energy levels, then you got to call the timeout. That's it. It's a risk you got to take because the most important thing is getting your top line out there as much as possible. And now for Halb, this was amazing because you still have your timeout in the back pocket where you don't really have to worry about them sticking their first line against your second line.
Yeah. So you can run the next minute and a half with, but they're not going to. They're going to stay with the second line, it looks like. Interesting. Okay, let's see if it works. You have the opportunity here for the minute and a half to run your top line, call a timeout, get them back on the floor, run them for 3 minutes, and really choke out this game, especially the way that Hanc's playing. I know what they want to do. They want to try to get the mismatch against their top line tired. Let's see whether or not the gamble works.
If this risk works by Halb, they're going to have a big advantage on the next switch.
Let's see if they give Hanc an opportunity to score because they want to play cutesy with the matchup, then they're going to regret it.
Yeah, but you know what? It doesn't look like they're all that worried about it.
Nope. Sadiq controlling the ball. Ball capped in, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 going back the other way. Silbiger is going to get to it first, though, send it out. Rothbard sends it across, nobody home. Hackle coming in, finally sending a third man in. Hackle recognizing the advantage. Tries to send it to the middle, doesn't get there. Rothbard with his hackle on him. Sadi with an opportunity, cannot control it. The bounce getting away from him. Binkowitz in the corner.
If I'm Halb, this is where I want to make my switch. The next whistle, really.
Absolutely.
Because now you're going to get to take advantage on both sides here. You're going to have a tired first line out there that Hank's going to keep running out there. But it doesn't look like they're going to go to it. No, they are.
No, they're going to. It looks like they're going to go to their next line. They're going to go to their third line offense. 3:31 to go, and Hanc is switching up to Ritter. Put Ritter on for another offenseman. Hackle, the only defenseman back now. Hanc clearly in the 3-1 now. Will it work? 3:25 to go. Hackle sends it out. Sadi going to put pressure on the goalie, but Feldheimer will cover up with 3:20 to go. 3:20 to go. 2-0 Halb. You're listening to the YJHSHL Championship. Sorry, force of habit over the last couple of weeks with me. Want to thank Hafter administration, Joey Honig, everybody here for allowing this to happen. We have had a great time tonight. We're glad to be back doing championship games.
It's really great to have this back, and it's like having finality to a season and having closure.
The last season that happened, there was no closure. So for them, this is getting back to, and the ball. Oh, and that's gonna go. That's gonna just about do it as the ball rolls in under Holtzman's pads.
It's a great play. You know what? You got your third line offense out there to close out a game for you. That's fantastic.
Not to sound non-enthusiastic about it, just can't tell from here where the ball went in. Fantastic heads-up play by Rogoff in the middle, poking that one.
It's just it's a gritty, smart play where you just go until they blow the whistle.
Got to keep playing, and goalie had no idea where it was, and with 3:05 to go, that very likely is the capper as Rogoff putting the third goal in. I believe it was Rogoff. We'll try to get some confirmation at some point on that. But 2:49 to go. It's going to take a lot to come back now for our Hanc team that hasn't been able to muster much offense at all during the first 35 minutes of this game. 34 minutes, 33.
So we have 2:41 left. We have, each captain on Halb has had a goal. We've had their goalie hold a shutout. For you, who are you feeling has had the largest contribution so far in this game for Halb?
I think the biggest difference maker has been Ami Marks. I think the biggest difference maker is Marks because they're focusing so much on Lampert, but Marks is controlling the play every single time. He got that first goal. He set up the second goal beautifully. He's been getting opportunities everywhere on offense and defense. I really feel that Marks is probably the odds-on favorite to pull home the MVP.
There is the other side of that, though, for Lampert, where it's like everything I've done this entire season made them focus on me. And he did it, on his, he's basically ran their power play. He has had such a strong contribution even without the ball that he does make a case for himself, though Marks has, dominated the physical side of the game.
The conundrum of being Andrew Haller in a championship game, or Sam Corman having to see Rafael Gamal, the goalie, take home the MVP when you've each scored 2 goals.
You can say the same thing for Lawrence in the JV championship.
We won't go there. We don't talk about Lawrence. Feldheim with another stoppage. 2:02 left to go. Halb, a 3-0 lead, having their top line out at this point. Hanc's got to pull something special out of the hat. Looks like Halb is going to take home yet another championship.
Look, it's a testament to just really hard work over just a long period of time. And to have it just this run of consistency for 20 years even, right? Where they have just controlled middle school hockey. It's just constantly kids who keep dedicating themselves to this cause. And it's not a 1-year thing. It's something that they've worked towards, since they were 4th grade, 5th grade, before they even made this team. Mm-hmm. And you see it here, it's just the start of their hockey career is already, bringing fruits.
.152 to go. Once this game is over, I'm going to be leaving you. You're going to get the opportunity to go a little solo here. Somebody's got to do the player introduction, the trophy presentations, and that somebody's me.
Of course.
1:43 to go. We are almost there as the trophies get brought out right in front of us.
Man, these things are taller than I am.
That's not saying much.
That's
Sorry.
fair.
Sorry. That was very juvenile. As you see 4 Hanc players in the corner now in their defensive zone. Halb coming out with the ball. Ball sent over the goal.
And Mark still came out with it, by the way.
Yep. Freund dead into the ball first. 1:16 to go. As we get down to about a minute, this is all but academic at this point.
Hank's pulled their goalie.
Without possession of the ball, and Marks is going to get his second.
Look, Hanc was trying anything they can, and they saw it deep in the zone. Marks probably just wraps up his title, his case for MVP of this game.
Second goal of the game. Couldn't get much easier than that. Nobody there right in front.
Still got to run, though.
Absolutely. Got to get to the ball first. He does. And 1:02 left. Halb's going to walk away, win this one easily, having scored the last 9 goals of a championship game. 10 goals, actually. Halb has scored the last 10 goals of the junior high championship.
Would that mean that YCQ, like 5 years ago, was the last team to score?
Yep, they're the last.
Not named Halb?
With the exception of Halb, YCQ, Sam Corman is the last player to score a goal other than a Halb kid.
And to put it into perspective, he's graduating from high school.
That's insane. It's just given everything that's gone on over the last 2 years, everything is out the window. As we have 44 seconds left, they're going to try to take it into the corner now. Ref's going to probably have a quick whistle so that there's no shenanigans. Lampert. Goldress. I don't know why you're bringing it to the corner. Just keep sending the ball around.
Yeah. I think for him, it's just like he doesn't want to give up the ball, let them do anything. Just kill it off in the corner, call it a day.
.29 seconds left. Halb, the Halb faithful getting ready to celebrate. Freund. As we have a whistle, 25 seconds left. They're going to call an offsides. Ball will come back out into the Halb zone.
So the one thing, we'll go to the other side before we celebrate Halb's victory. But for Hanc, they have a number of 7th graders on this team, and for them, this gives them that bitter taste to hope where they hope to come back for it.
They wouldn't be the first team to run a back-to-back and win the second time. It actually happened to them. You know, they that Hartola team that beat Hanc. Halb won the year before us. 10 seconds to go. 9-8. They're going to let this clock run down. Halb, Marks is going to run with the ball, do exactly what he should be doing, and the game is over. Your 2022 Yjhshl champions, the Halb Lions.
One side champions, the other side looking forward towards next year, and whether it's going to junior varsity or another year in middle school. These are clearly the two best teams in the division, in the league, and they gave us quite a
Well, as we wrap up the championship broadcast, I want to say thank you to Hafter. I want to say thank you to the Hafter administration, Joey Honig, everybody who took part in this, CMZ Productions, Corey Spitzer behind me, Zach Newmark on the headset, in front of what looks like a very professional and very well-run board and program. It's bittersweet to always be at the end of the year, but you know what? It's the journey that counts. And here we go. On to another offseason. We will see everybody next year. Congratulations to the Halb Lions, winners of the 2022 YJHSHL Championship. Good night, everybody. See you next year.